Good morning. Today is Thursday, September the 26th. My name is Donna Smyrniotopoulos, and I'm the host of this channel, Angry Taxpayer. I decided to begin the video today with the angry barker that you sometimes hear. My friend Paul Lanning has picked up on Moneypenny. Moneypenny is the senior citizen. I have 3 bulldogs. And Moneypenny is the one that you will hear barking periodically in the video. So I just wanted to get a shout out to Miss Moneypenny. If you hear her, send her some love. On Monday, I had the great pleasure of hosting an event for the Coalition of Norwalk Neighborhood Associations, also known as CNNA. The event was about quality of life in the city of Norwalk. We were very lucky to have many city staff members who were willing to sit on the panel. Jessica Casey, the Director of Economic and Community Development. We had Catherine Hebert, the Chief of Transportation, Mobility, and Parking. Steve Kleppen, the Director of Planning and Zoning. Anthony Carr, who is the Director of Public Works, or the Chief of Public Works and Operations. And then we had the Chief of Police, Thomas Kahalik, and Audrey Kozarin, who is in charge of and started this Citizens Traffic Safety Committee. And we invited Chris Perrone, Bob Duff, and Lucy Dathan. Bob Duff could not attend. I also invited Gail Lavielle. Bob Duff could not attend. Lucy was there briefly. Chris was going to sit on the panel. He became very ill and was not able to be there, and Gail was traveling out of state and she was not able to be there. I want to take off my CNNA hat for a few minutes here, because when I'm moderating an event like that, I have to maintain balance. And when I'm here as an activist, I'm allowed to have opinions and to express them, but I didn't want to make that event overtly political, to seem like the event was, created to favor one particular candidate. We are in the silly season for municipal elections. So I wanted to take a few minutes now to talk about the event. First of all, for anyone who felt frustrated, there was a gentleman named George from East Norwalk, and I did not call on George, and I apologize profusely. I felt just awful about it. I saw his hand up, and then I didn't see it up, and then I probably forgot. And there were several people who said afterwards that I needed a facilitator, and you're absolutely right. We do need facilitators for these events. I thought I could do this by myself. And so I apologize if you weren't satisfied with the quality of the event. We will try and do things differently. And these are learning experiences for us and for me as a moderator. And to those of you who were happy, and I thank you. Thank you for all your nice comments. What I observed, again, stepping back, taking off my moderator hat and looking at this as a Norwalk citizen, I noticed one striking reality, and my friend Lisa Brinton has been saying this for a while, sort of the tale of two cities. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. So if you were listening to the panelists, with the possible exception of Audrey, it was the best of times. And if you were listening to the audience, it was the worst of times. So which one of those realities is Norwalk? Are we heading into a great stretch, or are we heading towards the road to ruin? And I think the truth is somewhere in between the two. I am a residential property owner. My taxes have gone way up. I know that this is the same for many other people. And when we get our assessments and it says we want to make sure you're paying your fair share, some of us say, well, what's going on? I mean, we're not what do you mean by fair share? Where is the value that we get for our tax dollars? Where's the value coming from? There's a disconnect, because what we heard loud and clear on Monday is that people are very unhappy about traffic congestion and traffic safety. And this was West Norwalk has had a particular and very specific problem. And I know the mayor met with people from New Canaan to discuss the problem, but traffic is worse all over the city, measurably worse. I bought here in 2012, right after Sandy, and I was able to get to 95 and the 95 connector in about 5 minutes. And now it takes me 15 minutes. And I'm just one person, but this is what I hear anecdotally from people all over the city, is that traffic is worse. On the other hand, parking is monetized wherever you go. So you may have been able to shop at Liberty Plaza and park your car and go in and dine at a restaurant for free. Now you have to pay. They don't even give an allowance for people shopping at 99 Bottles to park for free for a certain amount of time. There's been additional monetized parking in the Wall Street area. So what value are we getting, and why is there this disconnect between City Hall and I said to one person, it was like they were speaking a click language. There's a vocabulary associated with planning, and everyone who's involved in planning knows the vocabulary. We heard the word node, for example. We heard a lot of talk that assumes that everyone embraces the idea of the urbanization and densification of the city. And many of us haven't embraced that. And I don't really understand why there is this gulf between what the people want, which is, better quality of life, less traffic, and a city that works for us first. And City Hall that seems to think that all this development is good, it's all great, it's all going to be fine, we are urban, and you guys just haven't caught up with us yet. Norwalk is urban, it's becoming urbanized, and you people in the audience who are complaining, you're stuck in the previous century, and you just don't know what's going on, you're not hip, you're not with it. I don't know if these two sides can come together. As I said, I think that they're sort of speaking a different language. When I asked about walkability, I would like to be able to walk to a grocery store. I live in South Norwalk. I'm about a mile from Seatown. That's a little impractical for me to walk to and carry the groceries back with me, especially because the sidewalks are not great everywhere I go. I guess if I had a cart, I could manage it. So the answer from Jessica Casey was, well, if you build it, they will come. So if you add people, which is what the city is doing, they're adding people. So once we add these people, then the urban Trader Joe's and the urban Whole Foods will come here and take advantage of that business. But in the meantime, let's assume that this does happen down the road. In the meantime, there's a lot of pain and suffering, and most of the pain and suffering is being borne by the people who are covering the better part of the tax bills, residential homeowners. So we feel lost in the mix. We feel that City Hall isn't working for us. I feel that City Hall isn't working for me, and I know I'm not alone here. I don't know what we can do to bridge that gap between where City Hall thinks we should be headed and where we think we should be headed. Some of the answers lie in the voting booth. You need to go to the polls and you need to vote for people you think will be accountable to us and put the citizens first. If you go to Greenwich, the people who work in Greenwich know who they work for. They work for the people who live in Greenwich. We don't have this sense all the time in Norwalk. I think we need to restore it. And I think that we need a growth management program like they have in Carlsbad. I invite every candidate for office from the top of the slates on both sides all the way down to the bottom, especially Common Council. Where do you stand on a growth management program? I want to hear from you. I want you to post comments. Do it on Facebook. Do it here. Send me an email. Send the email to savenorwalknow@gmail.com. I ask you all again, I invite you to subscribe to my channel and hit like. And I hope to see you again tomorrow. I would like to get back to some of the issues with the grocery store meal tax that Bob Duff said he was for until he wasn't. So hopefully we'll get to that tomorrow, and have a great day. It looks like it's going to be another beautiful day. I don't know how many more days of perfect weather we can stand, but I'll take as many as I can get, and see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.